So we are at ICMP in Kilburn. It's a fantastic campus environment and we have been made very, very welcome here today. And there's been all sorts of various music and melodies coming from all of the rooms around us. So it's been a really inspiring day. The background of today is songwriters working to explore and collaborate on their idea of roots and home, being displaced in whatever way that is, whether they have chosen to leave where they're from originally or life and the universe has influenced that in some way. But really what we take that's part of ourselves and, that kind of idea of nature versus nurture. No matter where we end up and our end location, there's always a part of where we're from and our home that we're carrying with us. We have had 4 songwriters here today, 3 of whom are from our AMA UK membership, Alana, Steve and Dietrich. We have had a SESAC writer, Chris, who was able to join us. SESAC are a long-time supporter and partner of AMA UK. And then we partnered with the Musicians Union to identify a member from their database who has found themselves in London through displacement and a part of the refugee community. So Kelly at the Musicians Union was super helpful and collaborative in helping us find Vlad. And alongside that, we've had Trisha and Lucy, who are involved here at ICMP, both on the Master's Programme and teaching.
I've been really honoured to co-host the day with Lucy and act as a coach and a mentor for the songwriters as they've really kind of exposed themselves to this great story and used it as a impetus to create 4 brand new songs that didn't even exist this morning.
Hi everyone, I'm Vlad. I'm a Ukrainian refugee who lives in UK. I'm a classical musician, basically. I used to study clarinet in Ukraine. Last year I started my education here as a music production. So I think it will be a good experience for me to be a part of this workshop today. I'm from the center of Ukraine. It's called Kropivnitsky. It's like very beautiful place where is a lot of farm music. It was my hobby for a long time. I wasn't able to be in Ukraine for 2 years, so I just remember the picture about my hometown. In Ukraine we have a different mentality and different tradition. Here I live with an English family under the Homes for Ukraine scheme, and I'm very like when we discussion any tradition about Ukraine or about England. And last year we made a Ukrainian Christmas, and we have a tradition for Christmas to cook 12 different dishes, and it's like religion tradition, and I was very happy to share this tradition for English family, as it was with my family. Also, I like the culture here. I very like to speak with English. Yeah, basically spend a time here. In Ukraine, we have a lot of different food. Every time when I come to my mom or grandmom, they give me a lot of food, and I can share with the friends, and yeah, it's like a food culture in Ukraine. 2 years ago, 1 month before war started, I was involved in an opera tour. We traveled around England, Scotland, Ireland, and playing a couple operas, which is Madame Butterfly, Carmen, Tosca. Then war started, and we continued to travel, and after each show, we played our Ukrainian anthem, and some part of our payments we sent to Ukraine to help our soldiers or Ukrainian refugees. We wanted to come back to Ukraine, to be with the families. But we recognize that we can help more if we will stay and will popularize the situation in Ukraine. Not everyone recognizes that the war in Ukraine is still going on, and we still continue to help our families and everyone in Ukraine. In the first months, my hometown was bombed by Russia, and so I was worried about it a lot. My family is quite in a safe place in Ukraine, but I have a brother who is a soldier, and he now in Bakhmut. It's a city with a very, very hard situation. So, and I cannot talk with him. But sometimes when he have free time, it's not very usual, but like once a month, I can talk to him and he share with me every feeling about the war. Definitely, my home is Ukraine. I'm very like London or in England, but I feel that my traditions and culture is in Ukraine, and I prefer to be there.
Yeah.
In the future, basically. In a Holland Park, we have a Ukrainian community, like a big Ukrainian community, and there is a restaurant, Ukrainian restaurant, and I remember last year I just recognized that it's Ukrainian food in London, and it was fantastic because I tried some dishes that I cannot make here on my own, but there was these dishes, and it was like a feeling that I'm in Ukraine and I had this food, so like that.
The secret to a man's heart, the secret to a man's heart is through his stomach. Ain't that what they always say? 'Cause it only takes a taste, and I could see the table full of food on Christmas Day. This tastes like my mother made it. This tastes like my mother made it.
Cool. Nice. Amazing.
I like that thing of you talking about the Christmas thing. It's like dishes at Christmas.
Yeah.
I was trying to like
12 dishes.
when you taste something, it
yeah.
can like transport you back to, even if you're not with your family or whatever, it can like pull you back.
Very good idea.
I'm thinking about an idea of like, I like the metaphor. I was just starting to write it then, but like learning to cook some of those dishes. Or something that like, then no matter where you are, you'll be able to be connected to your family or something like that. I like that.
Yeah, or maybe like make dishes that have a same recipe with my mom. Yeah, because
exactly.
she have own recipe. Yeah.
Before this happened, what was your future? What did you see as your
Good
future?
question. I wanted to study music production in England, so it was my dream. So in any way, somebody just put me here, and like war, it's another thing. But anyway, I dreamed about study here. So
That's incredible.
yeah,
That really is amazing.
Yeah. So I really liked the fact that that it's Madam Butterfly is the reason that you're here, and it's almost like, to me, it feels like the butterfly is like your guide.
Yeah.
So I've tried to sort of write a song about a positive song,
Okay.
about hope and about how you have, this butterfly, which is kind of, despite everything that's happened, it still steered you to your dreams. It still steered you to where you wanted to go.
Yeah, nice idea.
My dad is the child of a Hungarian refugee in the 50s. And so a lot of what you're saying reminds me of my family's story from when they all left years ago. And strangely, my grandfather came over for an opera program.
No way.
I'm not kidding. Like, I exist because of an Eastern European opera program in the UK.
Oh.
It's just a really strange coincidence.
That is absolutely amazing.
But it's interesting to hear you talk about how, in a strange way, it almost seems like opera is a lifeline for people from that corner of the world. But yeah.
Seems like the concept of time is really prevalent, and so maybe it could be an idea, a point of reference to structure your verses in chronology of your experience, of like verse 1 potentially childhood, verse 2 being a little bit older, and how that experience kind of graduates and morphs itself to really bring the crux, that bridge and that chorus, to its heightened emotional capacity.
Well, we realize as well we have the same timeline for what happened to us. We've exactly 2 years,
Yeah.
which is really strange.
And some more things that quite exact the same.
Yeah, we've had very similar experiences,
Right.
even though they're very different experiences. But yeah, I think if we're kind of gonna compare like grief to like emigration and refugee status, we've both been going through our things for exactly 2 years, like as of this week, basically. So, bit nuts, which is kind of fun. So there's definitely something in that of like timeline.
I mean, to write with Vlad as well, Ilana and Vlad wrote together, to have his words reflected and to do that dual meaning thing. I mean, that is not an easy thing to do, to have a song that can tell 2 separate stories at the same time. That is incredibly difficult to do. So I've got to say hats off to them for that. How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you
Sort of-
making progress?
Yeah. I'm much more of like a start with throwing a bunch of ideas at it and then giving it a little bit of time and then picking out which one feels right.
Are you a sort of lyrics person, a lyrics and music together, or
Kind
a
of
music
all at the same
all
time.
at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, I have like a handful of things that feel comfortable on the guitar and the piano that I start with, and then once the words start coming out, then I start changing around with the chords, so it's all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you started that process of refining yet, or are you still
No, not yet. No, still in
the
the-
broad idea?
Broad ideas, throw everything at it. I know you said you didn't want, or you didn't think sad songs were the way to go. I don't think it's actually...
I mean, the mood, it shouldn't be like very sad, because we are not sad, definitely.
Yeah. It's not, the hope is that it's sort of impressionistic.
Yeah. It's really beautiful, and so you take a lot of things that I share with you and with everybody. So yeah, that's fine. It's definitely about my story. Yeah.
I took a few elements of what Vlad talked about this morning and sort of ran sideways with it. There's some stuff that is definitely poetic license in the song, and some of it from my own experiences living on the other side of the world for a decade now. So in happier circumstances, but nonetheless. But yeah, I really liked talking about hanging on to culture through food like that. And when if you're feeling homesick, you go to that restaurant and, and it makes it not a thing far away. It makes it alive, and, food like that is such a vital thing that can do that. So. The secret to a man's heart is through his stomach. Ain't that what they always say? 'Cause it only takes a taste, and I can see the table full of food on Christmas Day. Obviously, my experience is not the same as Vlad, but I feel like when you bounce ideas of someone else's life and experience, and you kind of reflect them back through yourself or something, and kind of see something about you in a different way, or whatever. It makes some sort of strange sense. This tastes like my mother made it.
We had one songwriter, Alana, who actually co-wrote with Vlad. So and they wrote a song which has a double meaning effectively, and was just done so brilliantly. And you could see that both of their stories were just intertwined in this, real, quite emotional song.
You're on my mind, and I know life keeps going, but you feel farther every day.
Every line we tried to make sure was one that we'd settled on with like a commonality, which was hard to do, but I think we managed. It's been really interesting because, obviously, my immigration connection that isn't my own is 60, 70 years old, so it's very different. And to hear it in a modern perspective, and hear that there's so many things you said that were similar to my grandfather's story, but so many things that are completely different. And I don't know, the power of the human spirit has been a really interesting thing to learn about today.
You're on my mind.
I was really taken by Vlad's positivity.
Yeah.
And Vlad's attitude to his situation. Mm-hmm. And I loved the idea that it was Madame Butterfly that got him here. And so I wanted to use the fact that the butterfly was looking after Vlad. And also, I originally started writing it about that, and then I thought, I don't want to write a song about butterflies. So I spoke some more with Vlad, and he was saying that the marigold is like the flower of Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. Even we have a song that each mom grows marigolds, and so every Ukrainian remember how mom grows these flowers.
So it's really common for...
Yeah, it's very common.
Oh, okay, cool. So it might be quite a good thing to use then. Here's to you, sweet marigold. You're the colour that fills my soul. Like a siren, oh, you call me home to you. Oh, our love is a protest, a revolution high above the ground.
With Chris's, it was just the sort of love is a protest idea, and I could see Vlad. I kept on stealing glances of him, and he was smiling all the way through every chorus. So that was really, that's just a visceral response, isn't it? He didn't smile on purpose. He was just reacting to what he was hearing, which was absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, everything was kind of represented in terms of musical devices and the way that impacts you for the representation of home and belongingness and identity and how that makes people feel.
Mm-hmm. I kind of knew it would be good. I don't know why. I knew it would be good. Because, the little conversations that we'd had in advance and meeting Kristen and all of the various people that were kind of the ingredients of this, I knew that I would have you as well. So I felt really secure that I was co-hosting with somebody I know very well. So I knew it would be good, but I didn't know that it would be this good, if you know what I mean. There has been real magic created here today. And the number of times that the sort of hairs on my arms have gone up the back of my neck, and that is a really kind of clear sign of music touching you, and something that is a really wonderful feeling when you have that sort of visceral kind of sense of reaction to the magic in the room.
They took completely different lanes and different ideas, but I cried, I have to say. I did shed tears. I'm the weak one, but no, it really touched me personally and really spoke to my own experiences as well. Even though I don't share the experiences of Vlad, I think it goes to speak on the sense of universal emotion.
Yeah.
But he has this positive nature about him that is infectious, and you can't help but be inspired by, and that really influenced the music and the creativity and the output from everyone who was involved.
He carries such hope and positivity and sureness that justice will prevail. It's shone out of him, and it's touched all of us with a sense of, actually, you know, you can find spirit and belief and love and silver linings everywhere you turn, even in the most bleak and horrific of circumstances.
Protest, a revolution high above the ground. And oh, our love is a war chest. This beating heart beats their feet on the ground.
There's another side to the work that we do that's around equality and our values and wanting to help underrepresented groups. And so we set up a membership for refugees to allow them to join us for free for a year to access all our services and to help people set themselves up in a new territory and, you know, start all over again as a musician. And it's hard enough doing it once, isn't it, as a musician? It's hard enough having a career as a musician, never mind trying to pursue it in a new area and a new territory.
This is an opportunity for us to show that what we're really about is the currency we deal in, and the currency we deal in is the musical work, musical composition, something which, as something you trade in, it just is unique. It has no boundaries. It can't be contained. It doesn't need its own bag. It travels through the airwaves. It's important for us to let people know what we're dealing with as a business. We're not a faceless organisation, but somebody who understands the power of music.